You're connected with Content Delaware.
Hi, we're here today with Therese Jornlin, who is a whole health specialist and works with people to do mind, spirit, body work, and I know has been a huge help to a lot of women in our community. So thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.
So here you were, growing up in Wilmington, Delaware, and a great student and a fantastic athlete. You go to Duke University, you're a great athlete at Duke, a great student, and then you tell your family you're going to India, and what a shock that must have been for your family. What attracted you to India? What was the transitional situation for you that took you there?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's been a circuitous route to this profession, but I do think some of the seeds were laid in my first trip to India. And I went over there because I had this gnawing feeling on the inside that I needed to get in the dirt. That's the way I described it. I had gone to very privileged schools. I was going to, do something, trained to do something big and kind of a lot of pressure that way. But I didn't feel I could do it if I didn't know about the poor. So I looked into programs actually in this country. I didn't even know where India was. And long story short, I ended up in Calcutta working with Mother Teresa's organization. And I think that some of the seeds of doing hands-on therapy for people probably was seeded in the Home for the Dying. And it was a very hard place for me. It was really tough. So then I came back. I was quite lost when I came back to this country, to be honest. So it was just seeing all that I saw. How do I do that here? So those were the lost years. We'll call them that. And I think I then went back to get an MA to try to understand a little bit of what had happened to me. And then I realized, okay, I want to do some body-mind centered therapy with people. It wasn't until my practice, I have a private practice, through my clients that I realized I wanted to go study yoga. So then much later, I would say 15 years later with my family, we went back to India, this time in the South, and then I studied yoga intensively.
So what are the components that you look at in a person's life as you work toward a healing process with them?
I would say the first thing I would look at is what are they eating?
Yep, eating, food.
Eating, and the second thing I would look at is their breath. Mm-hmm. How are they breathing? And I would help them to learn how to breathe the way they did when they were born. Mm-hmm. Because we know what it's like when a car cuts in front of us. My breath is cut short. Well, you have many things like that happen in life. The breath is usually arrhythmic. So health thrives in rhythm and movement. So the East would look at the body as a interconnected to everything. So if my mind is out of rhythm, it's going to show up in my body at some point.
So there's food, there's breath, there's movement.
Mm-hmm. Those would be the primary things, and then you have to thought and emotion. So you have to think of thought and emotion as concrete as food. Mm-hmm. I'm ingesting a certain way of thinking.
How do you change those things? I mean, most of us who get to somebody like you, in their 50s or 40s,
Perseverance and compassion.
Because a lot of the patterns are set. Is that one of the more challenging?
They appear set.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, they
people
appear
are resistant
set.
to change because, for all kinds of reasons, they get stuck in their patterns, and
right.
Some of those patterns are very difficult to change. Do many of your clients resist transformation because they're, stuck? And
sure, yeah.
How do you get past those barriers with people? Yeah, how do you get past those barriers?
Well, this is the thing, is that you learn what I call all the things I teach, whether it's in classes or in my private practice. It's just a toolkit. Mm-hmm. So I'm very lucky because I've been with fabulous teachers and I've practiced. So I have lots of different tools. So if I'm feeling annoyed, what are different practices I might use to change that? And then if none of them work, whether it's depression or there's some times where you let that state of being, whatever I'm in, say I'm feeling really confused or lost, and I've done all of the things I know to do, and that state is still there, then you yield to that state. Mm-hmm. You surrender to what's happening. That's what's happening for me. So all of these things I think of as like tricks.
So how would somebody listening today go about getting started with some kind of an alternative medicine practice to start taking care of themselves from the inside out as opposed to the outside?
Okay, we'll do simple and then more involved. Right away, they're turning off the program. Go outside if the sun is out and put your face and your heart into the sun and just breathe in. Something as simple and as basic as that, and feel it. Second most basic thing, it's raining outside. You can't go outside. Okay, you've got the program, you just turn it off. Just sit in the chair and take 10 full cycles of breath and notice what you notice from when you started to when you finish those 10 cycles. Now, if you're more inspired, I would look around at yoga classes. Find even a nutritionist. Nutrition, food is a tough one to change. I usually don't start there with people. So it depends on where you feel motivated. But the sun, the breath, and then find classes. We do better when we're together with other people.
Well, thank you so much for being with us
Carla.
today. It's been great to have you.
It's been great. Thanks.